Business AM continues this morning. Remember, the conversation is online. Now, just off the budget a little bit because we've really stressed on it, and I know the conversation is going there as well. Let's look at other businesses in the country, and we've been teasing about this conversation for quite some time now. So today in the studio with me is William Lawrence. All right, we are talking about the state of delivery services in the country. Now, we do know Glovo just launched its operations in Kenya. They've been all running for quite some time now, and they are now operating on an international basis. The question being, what macro and microeconomic factors actually make it look good for them to come into the country? And who better to talk about that than the man himself? Hello, sir. Welcome to Metropole TV.
Great to be here.
Let's get straight into it, therefore. When you said you really want to get into the Kenyan market, what sort of research did you get into to say, good, Kenya is a good place for us to go?
Well, Glovo's present in about 22 markets globally, and whenever we want to enter a new market, we obviously do feasibility studies and research. The first thing that we do is try and understand the product fit within the market. So Glovo is a product that essentially connects you as a consumer through an app on your phone to a network of delivery drivers in any city. And those delivery drivers can go out, they can buy anything for you, they can collect anything for you within the city. So, you know, there's a whole range of hot food restaurants that are listed on the app. You can buy your groceries here from Naivas, you can buy gifts, you can buy health and beauty products, you can have anything couriered from A to B. So that's the product, and we're trying to understand the fit within the market. What we're then trying to do is to understand the size of the market. So one of the really interesting things about Kenya is that a delivery market has existed for a very long time, but it's mostly based on the phone. So 70 to 80% of restaurant delivery orders are placed by telephone, and the trends are very similar across the industry. So, you know, that's very interesting for a company like Glovo because it means the market is there, consumers understand delivery, but the challenge for us is then how to educate them and to bring them onto a digital platform.
Mm-hmm. Talking about educating and then bringing them on a digital platform, which could be the better challenge, isn't it? Because now we have phone calls going on about deliveries and all that when you want to order something in Kenya. So how you think about bringing them online? What needs to happen in the long term or in the short term as you try to figure this market?
Well, the instance and penetration of ICT is obviously very important. Making sure that people are comfortable with using phones and being able to get online and do these things is very important. Actually educating, you know, we spend a lot of time talking to people about our products. I use every opportunity I can to actually talk to consumers and educate them, and that can be one-to-one or in focus groups or in sessions like this.
Okay. Now, I do know that you are quite aware that the mobile penetration in the country now stands at 100+% in the country. And I do know that that's one factor you looked at and said, good market for us. But what other factors you look at in Kenya, all right, within the economy and say, that's a good place for us to start?
Look, I mean, I think there are a range of different economic factors. Funnily enough, one of the really interesting things is in cities with very high traffic, our service tends to do really well. And Nairobi, as we all know, sometimes
really
struggles in that respect.
I'll show you shortly how it looks. Right now, we normally tell them if you're not out of the house by now, just stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Come at 10.
That's exactly right. And
yes.
And you know, we have people who leave the office in the evening, they get in a matatu or their car, they place an order for a Glovo for their groceries for dinner, and the groceries arrive before they do, right? And that's the kind of factor around like heavy traffic and the impact it has on our business. But of course there are a range of other things. You know, the pool of riders here in Nairobi who are tech savvy is really interesting to us as well. You know, this is based on the fact that you have a very strong tech ecosystem here in Nairobi. A lot of these riders are used to using different kinds of apps, and that makes it a sort of easy market for us to enter. And our focus then becomes on how you educate these riders in our app and our way of doing things. Next week we're actually opening a training center where every day 30 riders will come in and be trained on a whole range of different things.
Exactly how to approach this market now. There's one catchment, and I have to say that I've used your arm just to text it because I knew I was going to talk to you and have a talking point. I was approximating you to deliver in 15 minutes. That actually happened between 14.5 minutes. That's a really good way. But then there's this catch line in your self-service that we are going to refund you if we are late. Do you think that's what delivery services really need to have? Like the selling point is, look, Once we are late, we are going to refund you. I think that's a unique selling point, and that's what all delivery services should be gearing to.
Well, we certainly really strongly believe in that. We are very committed